So welcome everybody, and it's delightful to have a chance to spend a little time together and talk about these amazing teachings and this beautiful path that we share. So as Dirk said, what I would like to do is just to chat for 10 minutes or so, and then open up the floor. And this is a time, as Dirk said, for us to approach these teachings and what you're learning and what Mingyur Rinpoche is teaching and approach it and sort of add to it, give some deeper context, some human experience to it. Here we're going to be talking not so much about the methods of meditation, but the life of a meditator. And this is really the sort of the key for all of us to go from being a student of a method to actually engaging that method as a integral part of our life. So this is what it would be great to talk about. And um, you are already receiving some extraordinary teachings. They're authentic, they're clear, they're sharp, they're profound. Uh, this is absolutely wonderful. I can remember when Mingyur Rinpoche first laid down the first edition of The Joy of Living. I can't remember this. It must have been, I don't know, I think it was 15 years ago or something like that. And when I first watched them, I was with Mingyur Rinpoche, and I said to him, Rinpoche, if I had had these teachings 30 years ago or 40 years ago or whenever, I wouldn't have had to move to Kathmandu to get these teachings. I wouldn't have had to go through all the bad stomach and the whole thing, because Mingyur Rinpoche, in so many ways, basically laid out everything and is laying out everything that otherwise we used to have to go to the source, in this case, to Kathmandu. So this is really, really wonderful, and I'm delighted to be part of it and sharing it with you. Again, in the Joy of Living, you have learned and you'll continue to learn the sort of essential practices and paradigms of the entire journey. This drumbeat that you'll hear over and over again of awareness, compassion, and wisdom, awareness, compassion, and wisdom. We hope that it burns in your mind so much so that you don't need to hear it anymore. That this drumbeat, we'll come back to this again and again, and for however many years you're on the path, and hopefully it's for the rest of your life. This will be the tune that you'll play, and we'll take the golden thread of awareness, compassion, and wisdom all the way through the Joy of Living. And then for those of you who would like to go on to a more complete Mahamudra training in the path of liberation, we just continue on the thread that you've started here. If you choose not to go further, then you have everything you need for a lifetime of meditation. So, having said that, however beautiful these teachings are, however profound they won't do us any good unless we take them on. Needless to say, meditation won't help us unless we do it. So, regardless of what anybody says, meditation takes a long time. It takes a long time. It's often, as you've already figured out, it's often boring. Sometimes it's physically painful. This is the way it is. And so for us, what this asks for us, or what we need here, is a clear and sort of compelling vision of what is possible on this path for me, very, very personal for me. That, like, why would I do this? What brings me back to the cushion day after day after day, even though on some of those days I'm bored or my knees hurt or nothing seems to be happening or nothing seems to have happened in the last 2 months, or maybe my meditation feels like it's getting worse. These are completely normal experiences. In fact, they're all good experiences. So what we need is a clear vision, a compelling reason to come back to the cushion. For instance, I live in a ski area in the mountains of Colorado. And we have a program where young people from around the country come in to train for the Olympics. And we have the weirdest, they train in the weirdest skiing event there is. It's called Nordic Combined. So it's those huge jumps, those like fantastic jumps that are like right downtown in the town I live in. And then we have cross country skiing. And so it's the combination of those two things. Cross country skiing, sorry, I think is the most painful and boring thing in the world to do. And jumping those jumps is mildly psychotic. But they're so excited to go to the Olympics that they get up, they get up at 5 in the morning. They even have a high school curriculum that is designed just for their schedule. In the summer, they're training all summer. They have a smile on their face. They're absolutely delighted. And for what? So they can be the person that can fly the farthest off this ramp, so that they can be one of 3 people in the world who win a medal. But this is their compelling vision, to be an Olympian. And so it brings them to training day after day after day after day. So for us, this is what we need. A vision, a story that we tell ourselves about what is the possibility of meditation for me. So the best vision, the best reason is the one that brings us back to the cushion day after day. So when I started, the reason I started was because I had a fairly extraordinary anxiety and depression, the whole thing. And so wanting to feel less anxious and less depressed, this is great kindness to ourselves. So this is a perfect vision. Why not? How wonderful is that? What could be better than that? Perhaps we feel lonely and we feel cut off. And we've heard that meditation helps us relax and soften and loosen and open and connect more easily. If that's why we want to meditate, because we feel lonely and cut off, what a perfect reason. How wonderful would that be? Perhaps we meditate because we read some book at some point, like I did. I read Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha, and there was it stirred the imagination of doing something heroic like the Buddha did. And maybe even the possibility of what we call enlightenment. If that's our vision, how fantastic is this? So whatever brings us to the cushion, a clear, compelling reason this is how we navigate the ups and the downs of the path, whether or not our meditation is enjoyable, whether it seems to be going somewhere. If we have a clear vision, then that acts as a kind of North Star. And you could say that a clear, compelling vision puts wind in our sails. It makes the journey easy. So for instance, I can say, I think I can probably speak for all of us in saying that one way or another, we all intuit, we all imagine that there is a way of being that is more relaxed, is more connected, more open. We all intuit that. And the reason that we intuit that and long for it is because it's true. If it wasn't true, we wouldn't have the instinct, the impulse to long for it. I don't wake up in the morning and wish that I could fly like the birds out of my side of my window, because it's not a possibility. But wanting to be happy, wanting to be relaxed and open and connected, this is possible for us. So, but wanting this, simply wanting this openness, the relaxation, the connection isn't enough. We need to do something about it, because our experience of ourselves and the world is based on causes and conditions. And unless we change those causes and conditions, we won't achieve what we're looking for. So in the path of meditation, these baseline, or the story that goes along with it, is the story of learning to tame one's mind. We tame one's mind, and in doing that, we begin to access the qualities of mind, and then begin to apply this tamed mind to whatever we want. Our 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 emotional life, our social life, our work life, our relationship to the world altogether. So this is why meditation is so important. Because again, everybody wants to be happy, they want to be free, they want to be free of dis-ease, distress. But it all comes down to mind. As we know, or we need to remember, an agitated mind sees an agitated world. This is the nature of perception. What we experience here, we see out there. A fearful mind sees a threatening world. On the other hand, a relaxed mind sees a world that is open and inviting. A warmly disposed mind sees a world of beings who are friendly, who are our friends, that we look forward to engaging. This is why meditation is so potent, because what we're doing is we're working with this sort of lens of our experience. It's like an astrologer looking out into the stars through a telescope. If that lens is cloudy, the whole universe is cloudy. If that lens is clear, the whole universe is clear. If that lens is steady, the whole universe is steady. This is mind. You know, in our cultures, the cultures that we all live in, we have a sort of common wisdom that it's healthy, for whatever reason, to take a shower each morning or a bath. So we go and we take a shower each morning. We don't wonder, oh, is this shower better than my shower yesterday? Or is it working? Is it the right shower? Am I taking a shower right? No, we just take a shower because that's what we do. We know that it's a wholesome, healthy thing to do. We know that. Similarly, in most cultures, we know that getting a little exercise is a good thing to do. And we know that we don't need to scrutinize, oh, are my muscles getting bigger today? Am I healthier today? That makes no sense. We know that. So we take a shower in the morning, just naturally. We do a little exercise somehow, or most people try to. It's natural. Similarly here, much more importantly here, working to develop a free, open, clear mind. This is by far the most important thing we can do, because every single experience that we have, up, down, good, bad, joyful, painful, is an experience of mind. So we don't have the culture of allowing mind to just rest, to just come back to itself, find its natural ease, its natural clarity, its natural warmth. This is what we're doing when we meditate, is we're coming back again and again and again. And based on how our mind is, our entire world is that way. This again is just the dynamics of perception. What we experience here, we take the world to be that way. We know this, for instance, if you wake up one morning and you're just in a terrible mood and everybody looks like they have a frown on their face, that's the way we've created the world that day. But for some reason, if the next day we wake up on what we call the right side of the bed, and our mind is fresh and then our attitude is open, we look out and we literally see a different world. Literally, we see a different world. We see a world that we understand, that we're connected to, that we're interested in, that seems interested in us. It's amazing. In talking about this once with Mingyur Rinpoche, he said, and you may have heard this, he said, the entire path is a change of perception. That's how meditation works. It changes the perceiver, and consequently, everything that we perceive is affected and changed. So those are just some thoughts I had, and every couple of weeks when we get together, I'll go on about something that I'm finding particularly interesting and thought might be fun to share. And we'll try to keep this as loose and informal as possible. So anything, any questions would be most welcome.